no wonder. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah,
cool,
yeah.
cool, cool.
So how long have
Yeah,
you been in real estate now?
I mean, real estate. Well, I got my license last November, so it's almost a year now.
Almost a year
And
now.
then yeah, and then I signed with KW first in December, and I quickly dropped them. But yeah, and ended up with the home spot. Yeah, December 5 actually. Yeah, so it's almost 10 months.
I didn't know you were with Keller Williams. So what made you switch over?
Oh, it was the initial interview was good. You know, perfect. My Tourette tick is on. This is my
Oh,
vocal
good.
tick. No, this is great. This is perfect. This is what I needed on camera. So, main reason why I switched, it was initially the night after sign up. Their mentorship program coaching called me up trying to force me onto coaching. And I said, hey, I don't want to spend the extra money right now and do the coaching.
Mhm.
So he went on this 2 3 days of forcing me to pick up coaching. You know what? Forget coaching and forget you. So I left them, because I did over almost 2 decades of corporate work, so KW initially I grabbed them because it has that corporate energy. I feel nostalgic to,
Mhm.
but then again, they also contains the toxic culture elements. So I quickly realized this. You know what? I came here leaving 9 to 5, and this is not what I did. So I left.
That's interesting. So you wouldn't suggest Keller Williams for newer agents?
No, it's all depend on you.
Uh-huh.
It's all depend on you.
But
Depends
you've had a
on.
better experience with HomeSmart so far, right?
I so far I in the last 10 months I only did one solid deal. I had a nice luxury apartment rental,
Nice.
and that was it. So if you ask me, it's terrible, but it's a great feeling, energy wise. I like it. I feel motivated, you know. Just for me, in my own personality, my own beliefs. A brokerage is the last thing I will blame, because I do see what I can bring. I can see myself very clearly. So for me, so even though I haven't made much out of home spa, but as far as a brokerage concerned, as an environment to feel belonging to, it's a good place.
Yeah, a lot of friendly people, great broker, Rich is a great broker.
Yeah,
So you said you did one deal so far under HomeSmart.
yeah, yeah.
Nice.
One deal
And
so
what
far.
did, what did you do before real estate?
I spent 10 years in doing Medicaid operation. I work for, I started with Amerigroup, and then the company got bigger, get acquired. So I ended up with Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield.
Mhm.
So even in New York City, the Medicaid plan. That's where I used to work, and I did something called quality management. So it has a lot to do with compliance. Uh, so it's outreach. So we did pretty much cold call. So even though these are your own members, but they're not expecting your calls. A lot of
Mhm.
time, like, yo, why is my insurance calling me? How did they get my number? That's us. Yeah. So bottom line, we're trying to get more people to see doctor. This way, the company get awarded, right, with more revenue.
Mhm.
So I did that for like 10 years, on both
Wow.
inside the house, and then we also hit the fields. But with the pandemic becoming remote,
Hmm.
it turned to a major national operation.
Right.
Things got real toxic real quick. So long story short, they terminated me last
Oh.
August, and then so that's why I immediately went to licensing course.
Now you're your own boss. So
Yeah,
are you you're licensed in New York only right now, right?
yeah. We can take the test for New York only. I haven't done anything else. I gotta at least know my own home base first, before I
Right.
do anywhere else.
And you like to stay in Long Island, is that correct?
Our comfort zone, of course, is Long Island
Hmm.
and Northeast Queens, where I grew up. but I like to see myself as Long Island, Brooklyn to Suffolk, that type of deal. Yeah, Manhattan is a different animal. Staten Island, I went there a few times just for parks. Bronx, I go there for Yankees, the zoo,
Yeah,
Botanic Garden,
yeah.
and that's it. So I like to say I'm a Long Island guy.
Well, even Brooklyn and Queens are very different from Nassau and Suffolk, right? Like those boroughs are very different in many ways.
Yeah, I grew up in Queens, but I spent like 7, 8 years in Bushwick. I lived there for a good amount of time, and I enjoy the environment, Plus, where I used to work, they sent me to the five boroughs.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, Long Island is definitely a good territory. But like I always talk about, even in my own videos, uh, there's a lot of potential everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of potential in Brooklyn and Queens. It's just the driving and the parking, and it's so busy, and
It is, man.
it's a different animal. It's harder to get around.
Yeah, I
But
pick my
wherever
fights.
the money is, right? Wherever the
Yeah, I
money is,
pick
go
my
for it.
fights. Or like you can do referrals. But
Yeah,
referral, sounds easy, but it's not always that easy.
yeah,
You know, So it's always a hustle. Yeah.
yeah. Because there's always the next realtor. So what is your favorite thing about being a realtor?
Favorite thing about being a realtor? Yeah, it's just what it's definitely the freedom. Being your own boss.
Yeah,
Especially when you're with the brokerage, it's 100%, no bullshit. It's literally no bullshit. We have a support number, but you don't have to. You just call your own broker cell phone. He pick up the phone like 10 o'clock. Hey man, what's that? Yo, Pete, what's the word? Like, yeah, living the dream, right?
yeah.
uh, so I have a business life. I have a busy life. I got two kids. One in junior high school, in elementary school. My wife had her own business, so I always have to dance around the schedule. When I did 9 to 5, when I have to juggle with multiple things, it's risky, right? I'm on a call. I'm on a clock, you know. But now, I'm not on the clock. As a realtor, have most of the time you're unemployed. You know, so it gets really, really interesting. But that's but
Yeah.
that's the reason why the pure flexibility of being your boss, especially at the brokerage, that's not micromanaged and make you feel like it's your own business.
Yeah, I mean, especially when you have a kid, I'm sure, having that flexible schedule really comes in handy. Do you have a set schedule? Like, do you have an alarm set in the morning at a certain time? Like,
Yeah, I got alarm. I got multiple alarms set for this and that. Sometimes I have an alarm set just because I want to, snooze off and take a 15-minute break. Yeah, I got all kind of alarm. I got ADHD. I have Tourette syndrome. I've been fighting with anxiety and depression for many, many years. So I have my list of coping skills, to get me through the day.
yeah, I love psychology too, but that's a whole different discussion. So what time do you usually get up in the morning? Do you get up at 8, 9? What time do you usually get up?
Get up at 7.
Oh, wow. You get up nice and early.
Yeah, because I have to make breakfast for the kids.
Coffee.
Make breakfast, make lunch, pack them, and I do the school drop off. So when I try to do time block is not easy. Uh, but I'm pretty much time blocking already because I have to make sure, this segment. I have to make sure there's time reserved for my family.
Mhm.
That's that's how I plan my schedules. So 7 o'clock I get up.
And do you have another job besides real estate, or is real estate your main focus? Mhm.
I've been trying to pick up. I've been trying to find a job for a while, but back in uh, back in Anthem, I wasn't getting a whole lot. I was getting like 60,
Uh-huh.
but it's cumulatively, you go up through the year. But then once you're trying to go back, trying to get the same thing, for my age, even though I'm 44, I feel stronger than I was 25.
Right.
But they don't see it that way. And then they're gonna hit you up with some really low shit, like $18 an hour, you know. Okay, also, and then you have to really calculate the weight, especially when they have someone in your house already have a business. So I have to see how much of my input is worth the family's time.
Mhm.
So plus, I also you have to remember, and like Richard always say, talk about how part time in real estate is really really difficult. It's true because you if you do real estate, it's gonna be full time, but you can't think of it as a full time. You gotta think of it as a lifestyle. You I think for me, the most difficult thing about real estate is how to turn off, how to stop the phone and put it down, because there's always an excuse. Prospecting 11:30 p.m. It's not unhealthy. So you're always there. You're always in it, but it's very tiring. So I've been trying to look for part-time jobs. So long story short, I signed up for UPS. They have a seasonal gig going on.
Nice.
I picked the weird hour. I picked the 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. And I figure it's like baby hour. Back then with the baby duties, I had to wake up and feed baby. So I said this is like baby hour.
Night
I'm
differential.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to take some naps. Starting next Monday. I don't know how it's gonna go. Maybe I like it, maybe I don't. But just trying. I'm trying to do something different. I've been white collar working in the office so much. Part
Right.
of the reason why I like real estate is also I get to go outside. I get to walk around. I can be out there. You know? So I said, oh, let me try this warehouse thing. It's not like I never done it before. I did it in the past. So I'm gonna try it again.
Yeah. And you can always quit it if you don't like it. You can always resign. So
Yeah,
what is
yeah. I could just disappear.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
You're not stuck there. So kind of an interesting question. What is the worst thing about being a realtor?
Oh, not getting paid. Not totally. There's such thing as working for free. It's like you have to volunteer. There's if you don't volunteer, you can't survive. This whole job is about volunteerism. It's about going above and beyond. Volunteer, chasing a dream, connecting dream, because you're helping other people achieving their dream. So it's a whole network of different dreams. But there's no pay. I think about it. Back when I was doing customer service for so long. Even before Medicaid, I did a bunch of other jobs. All customer service. I have a lot of passion helping people with this and that. But now I have to think about it. Sometimes I feel like, damn, I don't, I'm not motivated enough to help people. And I realize, you know, without getting paid, without getting motivated every hour, in reality, it's difficult to make things feel worthwhile. But then you gotta change the mindset, and put yourself into this mentality. You gotta feel intentional. So yeah, so yeah. The worst part about this is how no matter sometimes you try, you had a spectacular day,
Yeah.
but did you get paid? No, because you're not gonna pay until it's closing.
Yeah, I mean, you don't get paid till closing. So for the people that are watching that are thinking about getting into real estate, it's 100% commission based. So sometimes you gotta, just build the brand and then go to bed thinking, well, even though I didn't get paid, at least I built the brand somewhat, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So that is tough. It's tough to cope with. What do you think about teams? Like I'm on the Cost Scout team. What do you think about teams?
Team besides, I think for a brokerage, for a lot of brokerage team, it's like another level of monthly fee, right? So there is a cost to it, monetary cost to it, and it doesn't matter which team, you know, there's a cost to it, right? There's going to be a split to it. Uh, but I think there's more of a motivation, uh, more of a legacy. When I first joined HomeSmart, you know, I teamed up. I teamed up with with Team Lepe, you know,
Mhm.
and at first we thought, yo, we clicked. He's got the seniority, so he even asked me to use his own legacy. So I realized, oh, I came in fresh, but I don't have to think that I'm new. I can just use his 25 years of history, and and
Mhm.
and and I can just fake it to make it. But you
Right.
know what? At the end of the day, I asked myself, am I really the kind of person who fake it to make it and still I can still walk it? I'm not. I'm very true. So there's certain things I don't like about it. So it didn't work out. So I was very open, honest. I told the guy too, and he's very appreciative. You know. So I walked away clean. But that's the reason why I didn't want to do this because you know I I did so many years of teamwork experience. Promoting for teamwork, and then in corporate America, you know, you know, let me fly free for a little bit and see what's happening first.
Well, it's interesting because I'm on the Costco team. Everyone has their own experiences, but they had been helping me get a lot of leads, and even though I haven't closed yet, they've definitely been helping me for sure get a lot of leads. So I think it depends on the person and maybe the team and what you're looking for, right? I'm sure it depends on a
Yeah,
lot of things.
I'm working. I'm actually working closely with some colleagues. We team up on projects. But I'm certainly not restricted to another team brand name. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. So it's,
Right.
yeah. So I'm pretty
Right.
much independent. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
But yeah,
fine.
independent have his own disadvantages. And I see them, but this is how I feel comfortable with.
Well, it's also nice that you don't have to split your own commission with anyone else. When you do close, it's all you.
Yeah, things get messy. I feel like,
Right.
yeah.
Should people today buy or rent?
Oh, that all depends, man. And I think if you have to spend $4,000 a month and run like a two-bedroom, it's not worth it. And similarly, if you want to rent a four-bedroom for like $6,000, $7,000, it's not worth it. Because if you're already making that much money, when you rent something for like $8,000, they're gonna want to make sure that you can maintain that. So they want to see 4 or 5 times of the same amount per month. So then you're making crazy amount of money. Then you don't have to rent in the first place. You just throw your money into a landlord. I did that for many years in living in Queens. But then I was struggling. I was going paycheck to paycheck. So in a way, renting in a adequate space, manageable cost, you can maintain that equilibrium if that's the lifestyle you seek.
Right.
Right. But of course, if you want to build equity, you definitely want to buy. Buy is the option. So if I ask myself the same question just 5 years ago, I was I'm gonna rent. Now
Right.
I see it, we're gonna buy.
It varies from person to person. I would say generally, if you can afford to, you should buy if you can afford it, right?
Yeah, if you can afford it, especially if you can afford to maintain it.
Yes, yes. Because if you're renting and the boiler breaks, it's on the landlord, right? So there are a lot of pros and cons, right?
Yeah. Also, you don't want to. You have to think about it. You run away from a monthly cost. You don't want to end up buying a house and paying the same amount of rent or even higher. So then, even though that amount of mortgages, whatever you pay, is going into the equity, but it's a lot of money to handle. And when you are in that kind of a sinking ship feeling, you get very negative, and then so you can ask yourself why give yourself the additional stress if you maintain a little bit, maybe buy at a better time, get a better rate.
Right. And there's also a lot of other things to consider, like maintenance, PMI, and all that stuff. Um,
Yeah.
so where do you get your leads from?
Where I get my leads? Well, I get my leads pretty much from I get a lot of them from internet actually. Yeah, I get a lot of these inbound things. I try to develop them. I try to handle them. Also, I I team up with colleagues like me and Maria. One door knocking on a bunch of stuff. We did land some pretty good activities. So we have this future listing coming up. We've been trying to land it. And just been having issues. So she's subscribes to like lead list. I'm not paying for none of that because I'm I'm broke. You know, I can't afford none of that stuff.
Mm.
So I also tell people I'm broke. But hey, if you can take so many calls, let me get some too. So this is how I get my how I get my leads from time to time. And I try to chase after it, and I try to expand it, see what I can get out of it. And, also open house. Open house is something I like to do. I like this face to face action, and of course, you have knocking on door. Door hangers haven't been no success. But it's door hanger plus talking to people knocking on doors, a combination of things, does get something. But I think for me, I'm trying to do the whole passive prospecting, on the internet. So for me, I definitely say the internet, and social media, has been the most helpful leads.
Yes, I know you're big on social media. I know that you're pretty good with videos and TikTok and Instagram. I see them, and at the end, you can. I'll post your links below. But yeah, so it is important to talk about like door knocking, like you mentioned, because there's some people who hate it. Like I'm not a huge door knocking person, but at the same time, like there are people who close. It's like sometimes it does lead to closing, so I can't knock it,
Yeah,
right?
it's not for everyone. Yeah,
Yeah.
trust me, it's not even for myself. I'm not entirely comfortable too. So but for me, it's better than making a call. Again, going back to what I did in the past, I did so long of making calls, call center style. I hate it. But it's all just simply. I know the concept. It's a mindset. If you think it's a cold call, it's a cold call. But then if you have a real genuine reason to help people, then it's not a cold call. So
Interesting.
so I do have issues struggling with people pleasing, and the imposter syndrome. So
Mm.
so so I get myself wound up. You know. Um, so yeah. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah, but you brought up an interesting point because there are a lot of realtors who say that face to face is so much better than calling. A lot
Yeah.
of realtors say that door knocking is much better than cold calling because it's face to face, whereas
Mhm.
cold calling it's like it's not intimate at all and you don't see their face and you know what I'm saying? Is that
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's the truth. Also, I believe in eye contact.
yeah,
I'm an energy kind of a guy.
yes.
I always feel that your energy can affect me and vice versa.
Yes. Do you think the interest rates and home prices will lower anytime soon?
My with my some of my core beliefs. I'm not a big fan of interest rates or any of these capitalism artificial injections.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you gotta put in the real work. Like Minnesota, they're building houses, not just luxury development, but they're building regular houses for regular people to buy and no money. Right? That's what I really believe in. But I also follow up with a lot of economies, uh, financial news, and so yeah, from what I heard, the current cut is enough for interest rate to come down, but not enough to go back to what the 2020 was in the 3.5. So I know at this point, 15 years, it's 5 point ish, you know, and 30 years still around six, low six. But is it gonna go down more? It's hard to say because right now the port is striking, East Coast port striking, transportation trucks are striking. So peak season, they're talking about losing $12 billion a day on the economy. So that's gonna again supply demand gonna get all wobbled up, and then inflation go up. Likely they're gonna have to raise the interest rate again, and then we're gonna go back to the same shit again.
What about home prices? Do you think home prices are going to settle down anytime soon?
You know, I feel I feel like sometimes how some houses they don't sell too well because it's priced too high, it's priced too close to the value of the market. Yet the house don't present itself for the value itself. And I feel like uh, uh, the house price will continue to inflate unrealistically. So I don't see much changes to that. As much there's always going to be a motivation to sell to buy. So that's why I feel we don't have enough house being built.
Mhm.
So I feel we should really build more.
Yes, yes. Like you said you said in Minnesota they were building houses,
In Minnesota they're building houses. Yeah,
but a
I
lot
read
of
up
people
about
were upset about that as well, right?
it. Yeah, of course. You know, uh, they're upset. For numerous reasons. It could be self gain, self interest.
Mhm.
Or simply you don't understand what the policy is all about. This is why the New York Democrats often get blamed for development. On one hand, they open development, and number two, they also shake hands with the big developers and ended up building something that's not so people friendly.
Yes, yes. There are pros and cons to everything. Which
Yeah.
platforms do you think are the best for cold calling? Like I use Redx, for example. Which platforms do you think are the best?
Me, I like I said, I don't subscribe to none of that.
Mhm.
So I actually look for numbers myself. Because again, I was working daily in call center style where the machine spit out phone number for you, and you just gotta connect and call. I don't like that. I want to do some research and understand why I'm calling. So I'm not really calling for random numbers. I'm really looking for expires. So I personally I like to work between the Atom property management system. I got to come to a mortgage. I like to use that. And on top, I like to crisscross with like RPR data. And it does give you the vital information, everything you need actually. That's enough. And of course, including the phone numbers, and which is the most important. So yeah, that's what I like to use.
What about Fizbos? Do you do Fizbos?
I'm not paying for any service.
No, but you could find the Fizbos on Google, right? Fizbos.
Fistball, no, I haven't been having any luck with fistballs. No.
Okay. So do you have any tips for new agents?
Do I have any tip for new agents? Mm, yes or no? That's a hard one. I feel like on one hand, I haven't. It gets deep. This question it has many layers.
Yes.
Because it's all depends on how you define success and how you define accomplishment.
Mhm.
So I may not tell you something that's useful that's gonna make you immediately make money.
Mhm.
'Cause for me, I'm coming here with a lot of strength and a lot of potential, but I'm also coming here with a lot of weights I carry on my own.
Mhm.
You know, so it's I just gotta say, hey, you gotta be realistic. You gotta pick the right fight, and you gotta continue to be intentional.
Choose your battles.
Yeah, man, choose the battles.
Did you ever think about opening up your own brokerage?
No,
Never?
I of course I just so I thought about it, like anyone. Oh, what if uh too much work, yeah.
Too much work.
Mm.
That's a good answer, but the money can be great, right?
I don't care. I don't. I'm not in this to make crazy amount of money. I'm in this just hoping I can make good amount of money to maintain everything without much worry. A good amount of money to have more of a passive income going. And of course, and for my kids, I personally don't have much. I'm pretty content. Uh, I I'm pretty frugal, even though online I post a lot of things. But if you look at it, dollar for dollar, they're all cheap, But I present them beautifully, So I look $1 million, but it's $5, So so I'm not all in all for the money. People say you're crazy, but like I said, it's something that I can just get to customize for the lifestyle that I pursue.
Right. You're not the type of guy who needs to be who needs $100 million. You're a simple guy.
Yeah, I really want to help people.
Right. Yeah, you have a good heart, right? You're not money hungry like me. I have a good heart too though, so don't get it wrong. So I
Believe me,
actually
a lot of my problems, do come from money, So, I do
money or
understand
lack thereof.
lack of.
Mhm.
Even with my wife, we talk about our fights or struggles, you know, we all know, if there's enough money, but yet she's also kind of like me in the same boat. We have this understanding. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand, man. Times are hard right now. I think it's 75% of Americans are living check to check, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is. And 90% real estate agent drop out first year.
The first
Yeah.
year, 90%. So for you people listening, not to discourage you, but yeah, it is a true statistic. 90% of people drop out in the first year, which is a really sad statistic. It's tough. It's tough. It's very entrepreneurial. Peter, I only have one more question left. What is your long-term plan?
That's one of my most hated questions being asked by
Really?
HR. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mean to get uh into psychology. Yeah, but folks who are, neurodiverse like me, for whatever reason, yeah, we don't look far. So this is one of the big things. I think a lot of time, like I love Sonona speak, you know, Joe Sonona, great icon in industry because I took a bunch of lessons from him. As he's a I feel he's someone that you could really look to as a mentor. But he often talk about the importance of having a vision board, having goal. But those things, give me tremendous anxieties, and chaos. You know, so so back to the long-term question, it's tough, but I've been dealing with this every day. So I hope I can reach at least 5 year first.
Yeah, one step at a time, right? Day by day.
Or yeah, since the fail rate is so hard, 90%. Why don't I just think about the first year first? Which is
Yeah.
true. Yeah, which is true. I almost, my partner, also persuaded me, if you gotta do this 6 months, you're gonna drop out. But I also want to paint the picture. I said there's no such thing as being a part-time uh, real estate agent because it's full-time. You're in it, you know. So and going back to your beginning question of about how tough it is, because every minute, every hour you could be spending investing in something. You go into places, you feel like fun, you feel like you're playing,
Mhm.
but if you really work for somebody, you're making money on every hour. But now you're not. So, just going back to reality, that's also my number one tip. Going back to the last question too, you know.
Yeah, you got to be realistic. Peter, that was my last question. Do you want to give them your links? Where can they find you? Where can everybody find you?
Well, I when I developed my sphere now, I just pretty much changed my old sphere. It's like Trump taking over Obamacare. When Obamacare the Trump care, so that's what I did. So a lot of people online know me for over 10 years as fabulously correct. If you look that up, you pretty much got linked to my Instagram and my TikTok. Otherwise, just look for me. Peter Yan Zhao. My legal name. It's out there. Peter Yan Zhao. You can
It was
find me.
great talking to you, Peter. Thanks for coming on. It was great.
Yeah, I had a great time too, brother.
All right, brother. Take care, man.
We talk soon.
All
Peace.
right.